Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about what is regarded as the worst investment in CSGO cases, and that's going to be the Revolver case. But before we hop on into this, only about 15% of you guys who watch the videos are actually subscribed. Discord's going to be the top link in the description. Let's hop on into it. The Revolver case came out at the end of 2015, and it is currently the oldest case in a drop pool and the non-prime drop pool. And comparing it to the cases around it that came out in a similar time period, you got the Shadow case and the Falchion case, followed by the Operation Wildfire case, but that one's an Operation case and a little bit different. But this case should be sitting around 20 cents, but currently it's just cracking above the 6-cent mark. So what really went wrong with it? Well, in the beginning it seemed like the case had a lot going for it. It came with a brand new gun, the Revolver, which pretty much broke CSGO for a week. I recommend you guys watch that if you haven't already watched videos of when the Revolver came out. It was a very fun time. You could just go around one-shotting people in the body. Valve came in and nerfed that, not real quick, but you know, in about a week, couple days. So they came in, nerfed it, but what really led the case to be such a low price? Starting off here, the case had a lot of competition around it. Like I said before, it had the Shadow case around it, which came with all these brand new Shadow daggers, and then it also came with the Wildfire, which came with the brand new Bowie knife. Both of these, same with the Falchion case. Falchion case came with brand new knives as well. There's 3 sets of brand new knives around it that you could be unboxing, and instead, why would you unbox the Revolver case? Looking at this, you got 3 different knives you can choose from, all super expensive as they've just recently come out, all super cool, you know, brand new knives to the game. There's not a ton of these, but now no one just really wants to unbox the Revolver case. You got all these cool knives around them. And then you get to the skins in the case. Now this is where the case really goes down. You're looking at your skins like the R8 Crimson Web for your blues, and that's the highlight of it. None of these blues were appealing in the slightest, and same going down to your restricted skins here. You had the SG553 Tiger Moth, and that was the highest point for your purples here. The purples had absolutely nothing to offer. Now lately we've been starting to see some purples, maybe an AK or an AWP thrown in there, and those are the cases that usually end up doing pretty well. But here, there was really nothing to offer. Now going down to your pinks, this is where it starts to get bad. We had the AK-47 Point Disarray. This is, in my opinion, the best or maybe the second best skin in the case. It's personally my favorite in the case, but then you have the P90 Shapewood. Look at this. Look at this. This is a disgusting skin. I don't know why this isn't a blue. I don't even know why it's in the game. It's literally just a piece of wood with the P90 thrown onto it. It just looks so bad and should not even be a pink. Most people agree that this is one of the worst pinks in the game. And then followed by that, you have the G3SG1, the Executioner. Now a pink auto sniper never really does too much, it's just kind of there. This one I don't think you should really expect much, it's just there. It's not a great addition to the case, but unlike the P90 Shapewood, I don't think it's actively hurting the case much. And then moving into your coverts here, you got 2 coverts here. You got the R8 Revolver Fade. Now this was the first gun to be a fade, and they really did it dirty, man. I mean, look at this. It's such a cool skin, and I wish they would have put it on more things. Obviously now we have the Op Fade. I really wish we could have seen it on more skins. Just looking at it, it looks actually pretty decent, but you look at the gun now, it's just so bad. But then finally, to round off this case, you have the M4A4 Royal Paladin. Now this skin looks extremely bland. I don't understand why it holds the price point it does, but looking at the price point, you'd be surprised. You think you clicked on the wrong skin, because this thing goes up to $120 in factory new. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. It only makes a small amount of sense because it's the only desirable skin in the case. But it really just doesn't make sense why it holds such a high value for such a bad case. But nonetheless, it does look like it holds a pretty high price point, up to $500 in StatTrak factory new, as rare as that is. Now with all that being said, you might be looking at this case and agreeing with me saying, yeah, it sucks, but there is some potential moving forward. This was the last case released with the original knives with the original finishes. Now these finishes with the original knives is actually pretty rare in today. Now we're looking at it here, and the last time we saw this was Vanguard, Operation Vanguard weapon case, and that was released in 2014, and it just goes back farther from there. All these other cases hold a pretty high price point compared to the Revolver case. That's one thing I feel like the Revolver case definitely has going for it, is it's such a cheap case to invest in, and it has these older knives that are actually starting to become pretty desirable now as we're starting to move into a lot of newer knives and stuff like that. They're just not as interesting for some people, and they prefer a lot of these older knives like the Karambit Fade and such. And once again, it also has that M4A4 Royal Paladin coming in at a pretty decent price point considering how cheap this case is. I think $110 is enough to lure a couple people into opening it, and that's what this case is really going to need if we want to see a price point in the future that is actually desirable. We need people to open up these cases and start going through them because there's just so many of them available. But as long as this case is in the non-prime drop pool, I don't think it will be able to hold a pretty high price. I think it's probably going to max out at around similar numbers to what it is now at the 6 to 10 cent range. There's not enough interest in this case currently, but the next time we do get a brand new case, if it is potentially pushing one of the active drop pools into the non-prime drop pools, and the Revolver case is the one that is taken out, I could definitely see this case actually going up in price for the future. With all that being said though, this case still sucks as an investment currently. Over the 5-year span, other than when it initially came out, when it reached 3 cents, it's currently up to 6 cents in a 5-year period. That is absolutely terrible for a skin or a case or anything. This is something you're going to want to avoid currently, but it does have the potential, like I said, if we could see this case being moved out of the non-prime drop pool, I think this case could actually see something in the future, but I feel like that's a very long time away. We're going to see probably some hype when that happens, and the price will most likely overshoot and collapse as people realize it's still the exact same case. But I think the Revolver case is on a corner that is going to turn very, very soon in the next year if we're able to push it out of that non-prime drop pool, and it's something you should keep your eye on. But that is all I have for today, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. This is something that actually really interests me a lot just because of how the case is perceived as just a worst investment. And you know, it does have a little upside. But that is all I have for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.